It was in 1858 that peasants in the village of Tres Zapotes in the Gulf of Mexico discovered an enormous stone head. This stone head weighed 10 tons, just a head, 10 tons. It was made of basalt stone, and it had vividly Africoid features, as Dr. Matthew Sterling was later to comment on it nearly a century later, that it was vividly African, vividly Negroid was his term. It had broad nose, very full lips. It was clearly one of the classical African types. In 1938, a scientific expedition set out from the Smithsonian Institute, University of California, and the National Geographic, and they found that head again. They not only found that head, but the following year they proceeded to another spot, La Venta, where someone noted they had seen a similar head, and they dug up 4 heads at La Venta. Between 1939 and 1940, 4 heads were dug up at La Venta, and again it was the same thing, enormous heads, 6 to 9 feet high, just a head, weighing between 10 to 40 tons in weight, having African-type features.
What Ivan van Sertima failed to realize is that wide nostrils and broad noses are not exclusive to black African populations. Human populations living in warm tropical climates for thousands to tens of thousands of years have developed wide nostrils and broad noses, which is a natural adaptation to these climates. Wide nostrils and broad noses allows for better air circulation between the nose and lungs to help keep the lungs cool, which is crucial because the body struggles to sweat in warm, humid climates. These nose features also helps to bypass the need to breathe through the mouth during physical activity, thus preserving precious water in the body. Tropical indigenous populations are found in the tropical regions of southern Asia, the Pacific Islands, West and Central Africa. Likewise, many tropical indigenous populations living in the Amazon, Central America, southern Mexico, and the American Southeast have developed wide nostrils and broad noses in these tropical regions. All these tropical human populations outside of sub-Saharan Africa have no Negroid DNA, all their broad features clearly evolved locally. As for full lips, these features can be found in any racial group, more so with tropical populations. The black diaspora does not own full lips and broad noses. The Olmec art depiction of the diverse indigenous American phenotype was on point. The Olmecs had come across various diverse-looking people in their trade routes, and many diverse-looking people from across Mesoamerica and Central America emigrated to the Olmec kingdom when they began to expand over 2,000 years ago. The Olmecs' immediate trade network spanned throughout Mesoamerica and into Central America. The Olmecs were also connected to relay trade networks that spanned from northern South America to southern regions of North America, including the Caribbean islands. The Olmecs were among the earliest cultural influencers of Native America. They helped spread the corn into North America and South America. The Olmecs came across so many diverse-looking people that they paid homage to them with their various small sculptures, jade masks, and colossal heads. Most of the small sculptures were lifelike depictions of various native phenotype, while their colossal heads were more of a crude depiction of the eyes and head, but they were on point with the nose and lips, which were depiction of tropical native phenotype. Perhaps they exaggerated the eyes and head. It certainly was a challenge for the Olmecs to carve accurate depictions of the eyes and head on such a large stone. After studying the various Olmec sculptures, I've noticed that they focused on 3 Native American phenotypes. I call these phenotypes the tropical Native American phenotype, the common Native American phenotype, and the classic Native American phenotype. These phenotype depictions represent a universal depiction of all natives of the Western Hemisphere. The smaller sculptures, and to a lesser extent the colossal heads, when compared to many natives across the Americas, reveals close resemblance in native phenotype features, because naturally most natives share at least some phenotype resemblance due to common origins. The Olmecs also recognize diversity in looks, which is a natural adaptation to various climates and environments. Most art depicted the commoners, traders, foreigners, immigrants, while some depicted the royalty. Some Olmec art depicted the classic Native American eye folds, which is found on most natives across the Americas, while other Olmec art depicted tropical phenotype features such as broad noses and full lips. The Olmec sculptures, jade masks, and to a lesser extent the colossal heads are closer depictions to Native American populations throughout the Americas. In this photo comparison, you can see the common epicanthic eye folds, high cheekbones, jaw lines, narrow nose, and prominent nose that is found throughout the Native American diaspora. The comparison also shows the tropical broad nose and full lips facial features found in tropical indigenous American populations. The descendants of the Olmecs still live around the San Lorenzo area of southern Mexico. Afrocentrists can nitpick and point out that some sculptures look African, while Eurocentrists can find another that looks European. Some Olmec sculptures look Chinese too. But like I said, the Olmecs gave a very good universal facial generalization of the Native American diaspora, which is diverse. It is possible that some populations in different racial groups can have similar facial features. However, the indigenous population of southeastern Mexico resemble the Olmec art the most. Just take a visit to San Lorenzo, Mexico and see for yourselves. It's obvious that pseudo-Afrocentrists are ignoring the tropical native populations of Mesoamerica and Central America. The indigenous of southeastern Mexico have more flatter faces, round faces and wider faces, which is not a common phenotype in sub-Saharan Africa. As you can see, sub-Saharan Africans generally don't have flat faces. Sub-Saharan African sculptures do not display round faces, wider faces, and flatter faces. The Olmec artwork is depicting the Native American diaspora. The Olmecs are Native American. For the first time, archaeologists have found Olmec remains and have obtained DNA that reveals the ancestral race of the Olmecs. In the year 2020, Olmec DNA was found by scientists from the National Autonomous University of Mexico. These Olmec remains were found at the 3,000-year-old site called San Lorenzo Tenochtitlan. A team of geneticists and archaeologists working at the site have found Native American haplogroup A, which is the most abundant Native American haplogroup among the founding and current Native American population. Without DNA evidence, all claims of the Olmecs being ancient Black American is dismantled. Nuff said.